Welcome. Let me tell you about the wine I drank recently, and this is one of the wines that captured my imagination the most. This is, in my opinion, one of the best dry white wine in the world from very special place. And this very special wine is Montrachet by Jean-Claude Ramonet, vintage 2015. Montrachet is one of the iconic vineyards of Burgundy, and this vineyard is very particular because it's split exactly between two villages of Burgundy in Côte de Beaune region, southern part, between the Chassagne Montrachet and Puligny Montrachet, and that vineyard is split between them, and the half that is located in Chassagne is referred to as Les Montrachets, whereas the one on the Puligny side is just Montrachet. Just a little nuance. What did end up happening as well is these villages, the Puligny and Chassagne, used to be called Puligny and Chassagne. At some point, the villages adopted the name and they became Puligny Montrachet. Well, bit of a marketing really if you think about it. Exactly the same way the first village in Burgundy that started it was von Romanet. Used to be von, and it took the name of their most celebrated and recognized vineyard, Romanet. Same happened in Gevrey, Chambertin. Used to be called Gevrey, took the name Chambertin. Mort Saint-Denis, and so on. So you've got in Chambol, took the name of the vineyard of Musigny. So I always like to refer, for the reference, take the Jasper Morris Inside Burgundy, which kind of gives it a bit of a detail. So it's an 8-hectare vineyard, so that gives you a scale. It's not a large vineyard, and it does have 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 growers. So there is the Marquis de Luguiche is the biggest one, over 2 hectares. Domaine Tena, 1.8 hectare. Bouchat Perefis, 0.8. Boyero de Chevigny, 0.8. Domaine de la Romanée Conti, 0.68. Jacques Prior, 0.6. Domaine Comte Lafont, 0.32. Domaine Ramonet, 0.26 hectare. This might be confusing, but 0.26 hectare, that would make about 3 to 4 barrels of wine. Everything between sort of 1,200 to up to 4 barrels is 300 times. About 12 to 1,500 bottles, really. That's what it will be. Marc Collin, Gayamio, 0.9, Domaine Leflef, 0.8. Those are the domains that have very tiny plots. They make a barrel, if that. Then you got Fontangania, 0.08 hectare. Lamy Pillot, 0.05. Domaine d'Uginy, 0.04. René Fluron, 0.04. So that's that. Beautiful piece of land. Now, when you talk about those wines, 100% Chardonnay, vinify often in very high percentage of new oak. They are the most profound, powerful, and rich Chardonnays you can find. And it is great vineyard. I think if forced, I would say that the Ramonet, Jacques Ramonet makes the benchmark Montrachet. Saying that, well, Domaine de la Romanée Conti, I'm just looking at here, or Lafont, or Domaine Leflef. I mean, pretty much all those growers do make a great ones. Probably those are the benchmark ones. Are fantastic. Personally, forced to me, Montrachet Ramonet is the one that I like best. Historical domain started by the Pierre Ramonet in 1920s. Grown since 3rd generation. The now family Jean-Claude Ramonet became Jean-Claude Ramonet. Few years, I think for decade now, and Noël Ramonet manages that together with their kids. And what ended up happening actually, that domain split from 2023, I believe, and it's gonna be, they're gonna split their vineyards in half, so that becomes even rarer. Now, what I really like about Domaine Ramonet is not a small domain. They got about 15 hectares, and there is a massive lineup of wines. There's a lot of wines actually, which is confusing, but at the same time extremely exciting. We have wines, what I really like at the top level, sort of, you're talking Grand Crus, and they do 4 Grand Crus. Montrachet, that's unquestionable, top of the top, their top wine. And then there are 3 others Grand Cru, Batter Montrachet and Bienvenue Batter Montrachet. No, I'm lying to you. There's 5 total. So there's Montrachet, there is Batter Montrachet, there is Bienvenue Montrachet, Bienvenue Batter Montrachet, that's 2. There is Chevalier Montrachet, and from 2021 there is Corton Charlemagne as well. So those are the 5 Grand Crus. There is a really wonderful bunch of the Premier Cru, Chassagne, La Gruchot, Boudriot, Gros Saint-Jean, Pouligny. There's one Pouligny Premier Cru, Folatier, which is worth seeking out. And from lesser wine, they make some really lovely Chassagne Montrachet Village, and they also make a Bourgogne Blanc, Bourgogne Aligoté. So I think Chassagne level wine, which you can actually drink in the restaurant in Bonn, half a bottle for as little as sort of 60-70 euro. By sampling that's going to give you a good idea what these wines are. Now, you see, this is 10 years old. This is still relatively young. What was really fascinating about this wine is how this wine, how youthful this wine was, and they always are. They tend to show that green, despite of age being 10 years old, this still shows this really lovely. It's got this tendency to show this beautiful, bright lime, this green tinge, which indicate youthfulness in wine, and the sort of wine that you take your time with it. It's better to make it a little bit cooler. It's great to decant it for an hour and allow it time to open up a phenomenal array of aromatics. Being Chardonnay usually not necessarily so aromatic, but there was actually phenomenal array of sort of citrus oil, white flowers, flintiness. All that is very, very neatly combined with this sweet toastiness from oak. You could really smell. I mean, it does have as well this element of the riper aromatics, as this was a warm sunny vintage. So you've got that sort of a little bit of popcorny kind of a pineapple character. It's very little of it. Really lovely aroma. But where these wines for me really shine is the palate. Wine of tremendous power, depth, and density. Extremely well complemented by core of savory, salty minerality that refreshes the palate. One of the words I would use for those wines is harmony. Everything was in sync. And 10 years old now, just about to enter plateau of maturity. They're good at this age, the Montrachets, they're good to drink at this age. However, I feel another 5-10 years of cellaring. Add layers of more, it tend to get that sort of lanolin waxiness, sunflower oil with time, which I think is phenomenal. So, well, that's that. Let me know what you think about Montrachet from Montrachet Vineyard, and who makes your favorite one. Thank you for watching, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.